So what if your business had a brand partner that never sleeps and always speaks in your tone of voice? Well, we've been using custom GPTs internally at Candle Digital, and I wanted to show you how you could do that yourselves. We found it's a brilliant tool, both in terms of acting as a co-pilot for content, campaigns, business ideas, messaging, helping with positioning. It almost acts as a bit of a business sparring partner to help you really get a sense of whether you're on the right track or not. And I think one of the key things, it really helps you avoid kind of generic, bland outputs by really capturing the essence or soul of what you're all about and baking that into the model. So I'm just going to talk you through the process of how you do that in ChatGPT. So we're going to use OpenAI's ChatGPT model to help us do this. And you may have come across custom GPTs. So if I click at the top here, one of the big things I can see here is Explore GPT. So if I click on this, there are lots of external GPTs that you can use to help you. So I've got some of my internal ones here. There are also a lot of external ones as well. So if you have a skip down, you can see stuff around by Veed and Canva and stuff to help you from ChatGPT. So there's loads of tools. I don't tend to use a lot of external GPTs. I only tend to use our own. And I guess the key thing to say here is if you want to create your own, you need to have a premium account. So let's show you how to create your own. So if I click on this create button up here, I get this interface. And what I can do is there's two ways to do it. I can either do it using the chat interface, or I can use it using a much more kind of detailed configure interface. Now, what I've found is that they both work well together. So I might start with create and then go in a bit more conversational and then go into configure just to outline some of the details. So as you say here, it says, hi, I'll help you build a new GPT. Why don't I start typing some stuff in? So what I've done is I've created some assets for a fictional business called Punk Leadership. So I've created things like a brand positioning guide, a tone of voice, and I've used ChatGPT to help me create those documents. So I want to create a custom GPT. It will be a brand partner, almost acting like a sounding board for my business, which is called Punk Leadership. And let's bring that into the box. So what it's starting to do already, it's starting to take the prompt that you've required and starting to build this GPT. So it's already setting me out on the process. So how about Punk Partner? Okay, sounds great. What's next? Obviously, you can tailor this as you wish to do so, but go through the process of trialing this, and I think you'll find that it's going to really help you give you a tool to really develop your business and just use AI in the right way. I think that's the most important thing. So now it's generating a profile picture for you now. So that's here. Let's go with this. What I might say is I have some documents relating to the business that may be useful. Can I upload these? Okay, so it said upload them. So what I might actually do is I might go to configure now. So you can see here, so it's already started to build its own prompt. So this GPT acts as a brand partner and strategic sounding voice. It engages. You might want to put some stuff in so it can push back constructively and offer ideas. What I might say, I might add to that. I am keen to understand any blind spots in my thinking, so be clear in highlighting these in our conversations. So what I could also do here is I can actually upload some documents. So as I say, I've created some documents. One of them is like a marketing plan. One of them is like a strategic document. One of them's a voice tone guide. One's a branding guidelines. This one didn't seem to upload. Let's have a look. I can't remember. I'll upload them all again. So it's adding these into its bank of things. So I've got some duplicates here. I'm just going to take the duplicates out. That one's a duplicate. Brand's a duplicate. So there we go. There are my 5 documents. So now I've got that, I can start to play with it. So you can actually preview it as well before you create it. So let's ask it a question. So maybe let's ask it something around help me describe my leadership offering. So what it'll do is it'll take all the stuff that you've uploaded, the command that you've done it. So here we go. So it knows what you're all about before you even put that in there. So here's what we do. Here are our core services. You know, all this kind of stuff. You can use it for loads of stuff. Maybe let's try another thing. So maybe you've got a campaign. Let's try create a rally cry. Let's say for a campaign against toxic workplace culture. So that might be something that punk leadership might rail against. So let's try and do this. Let's see what it comes up with. Okay, so here we go. So we're not fine, and that's the point. Burn the masks, break the silence, bury the performative bullshit. So it's very direct. It's captured the tone of voice that I've put in the documentation, and it's starting to feed this in. So if you can see here, it's a really good sounding board for your business as a whole. I think there are some key things to consider when you do it. Keep the brand documents really tight. We found that it works best if you've really honed in on what those are. I think also as your brand starts to evolve, you know, you may use this as a sounding board to evolve your brand, but as you do so, make sure that you are updating what's in the instructions and what's there. So what I can do now is I can click create, and I can, you know, choose who can access that. So that's just updated now and creating that for me. Okay, so now I can actually view the GPT. So up here now, I have a new item on my left-hand nav bar, and one of them is Punk Partner. So you've also got some prompts here. So does this idea align with our brand voice? That's an interesting one. So if I click this, so maybe we could say, so punk leadership doesn't do gentle nudges. It throws conceptual Molotovs into outdated thinking. So what I could do is I could say, I am thinking of sponsoring a local folk festival, for example. How does this align with our brand ethos? Let's see what it says. So it's providing a sounding board on certain things. So punk and folk both have a surprising shared DNA. You know, reclaim the folk space as a protest culture. So it's already, because it understands you and your business, what it's all about, it can act as a really good sounding board for that. But where it highlights where it could misfire, so this is probably pulling out some of the blind spots that I've asked it to highlight. Final verdict, default response misaligned, but smart link user is potentially perfect. So really fantastic as a tool just for you to use as a back and forth. I hope that helps. We use it a lot of Candle Digital. We find it as a really good kind of sounding board and sparring partner for the business as a whole. What I would suggest is have a play, you know, get stuck in. I think in the right hands and you're using it in the right way, AI can be much more than just creating stuff. It can be much more of a partner for you to develop your business and develop your ideas. So I hope that helps.